I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me. I have only a past, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
What is up? Welcome to episode 10 of A Look Behind the Curtain with Chris. We are on season 2, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here tonight. Also, I just drank a cup of coffee, so that's probably going to add to how fast I'm talking. But you know, the person I'm going to be chatting with here tonight is someone I had the opportunity to meet through OVF almost a year ago now. And to watch his journey and watch what he's been able to accomplish now, to get to dive into it and share it with you, I'm really, really excited about this here tonight. But as always, before we do, there's a little bit of housekeeping we have to do. What's up, Matt? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hope everything's going well with the family. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to air your details, but I just hope everything's going well. And I noticed your son joined the group today for you, so that was really cool. So a little bit of housekeeping. As you guys may know, I'm using a bit of technology called StreamYard, which actually allows me to see your comments as they're coming in. So your engagement, much like Matt there, greatly appreciated. We love to hear, you know, are you resonating with what the guest is sharing? Is there something that was a big takeaway from you, an aha moment? You know, even if you're just going to let us know where you're coming in from, we love to hang out, chat with you guys, and hear your input. So definitely do not be shy with your engagement inside of the chat. And if you're watching this on replay, drop it in the comments as well. I definitely check those. I reply. I make sure that I'm reading them so I know what's going on. And so if you're commenting, they will not get lost. So make sure you do that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing these interviews every Wednesday, plus value drops. And a little bit of a hint behind the scenes, we have an SEO team being built right now so that they can start to really take this thing to the next level. So really excited. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And before we dive into tonight's guest, let's talk about the sponsor of the show. The sponsor of the show is the DD214 Secrets book, which is a book written by myself and Liam Wisner, the co-founders, or the founder and co-founder of Operation Veteran Freedom. It is available in the links below for free. You can get a digital download of it. It is the 5 core foundation secrets that every warrior, service member, soldier needs to know as they transition into the civilian life, into veteran life, to allow them to flourish, to find their new mission quickly, to not feel lost, and to really feel like they have purpose again, which is the one thing that a lot of us suffer from. So with all that out of the way, I am really excited to talk to this gentleman here tonight. If you have seen any of the posts or any of the marketing material that we put out for him earlier today, then you know that the gentleman I'm talking about is none other than Mr. Tommy Brooks. Tommy is a Marine Corps combat veteran who's had multiple tours overseas. He's run successful businesses, and now he's running Wolfpack Fitness, which we are going to be diving into in depth here tonight. He is the former founder of Modern Kings, which was a men's brand for men to help them be better husbands, fathers, and all-around men. His Wolfpack Fitness business has actually been able to grow to over $12K a month in just the last 2 months, which really excited to dive into that because, as you may know, there are a lot of trainers out there in the world. There are a lot of people in the world of fitness, and a lot of them are struggling. So it'd be really nice to see behind the scenes what Tommy is doing to make sure he is not struggling. And we're going to dive into his actual fitness program itself, because it's a very unique style that he's developed himself, which is like a mixture of like the military training that he's been through, bodybuilding, and it just really all around focus around just making you much harder to kill. He's used this training to help hundreds of people go into law enforcement, contracting, the military, firefighters, everything you can name up. And what I truly love about this gentleman is he is family oriented. You know, everything you go on his page, which you're going to get all the opportunities to check out all this stuff, but he is very family oriented. It's all about wife, kids, being the best man you can. And so without further ado, please help me bring to the call Mr. Tommy Brooks. What is up, brother?
Yo, what's up, Chris? Excited to be here, man.
Glad to have you on, dude. Glad to have you on. It's been probably almost about a year since we first met, I would think.
Pretty close, yeah. It's been right around that.
Yeah, and when we first started chatting, you were in the middle of a transition. You had just successfully had your one brand, which we're going to dive into, and you were looking to see kind of what was the next step for you. Where does that evolve into next? But before we get into any of that, let the viewer get a little bit of behind the scenes of who is Tommy. So share with us, where'd you come from? Where'd you grow up? What'd you want to be when you got older? Ultimate leading up to you joining the Marine Corps.
Oh, well, hell, when I was a kid, man, I'm originally born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, back here now, after my stint in the Corps. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a baseball player. I was really good, played all the time, very athletic. Got a scholarship offer to college, which I did not take because I was a fucking idiot. I was in love with this girl and ended up staying home for her. Then actually the Atlanta Braves came to town. Went and tried out for them, and out of thousands and thousands of people that tried out, they took 3 people back to Atlanta, and I was one of them. So I actually got to go to Atlanta in Turner Field, got a base hit off John Smoltz. I did the whole 9 there. Ended up getting cut, and then just kind of wandering around working jobs, and decided I had enough. 9/11 happened, and I wanted to do my part. So joined the Marine Corps, and haven't looked back, man. I mean, I love the Corps. The only reason I even got out is because, like you said, I'm a family-oriented guy. I had a wife and kids and was never around. Always gone, deployed or something. So, so I ended up getting out and try to find my place in the world. Once I got out, worked job to job, and just couldn't find nothing that had that brotherhood, that camaraderie that I was craving. And that's what made my transition so rough, I think, trying to transition in the civilian world, because it's not like the military. Yeah. So I'm trying to create that through my brand, through Wolfpack Fitness. I'm trying to create that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that when you come in and you work with me, you're not just working with me, you're getting access to all these other guys that are going through the same fucking journey you are. And that can, we can all kick ass together, and we can build something that not only is helping you in your physical, life, also your mental, and you're going to have a place to go to, when you're having a shitty day, you can come in and talk about it. And you got some bros that you can hang out with.
Yeah, I love it. It's more of a culture than it is a company. And I think that is something that a lot of the best companies in the world today, or the largest, you might say, the ones that are performing the best, have figured out as well. So you're definitely on the right track there. And I think that's one of the reasons that, when we first started talking, I was drawn to your mission, your vision, and you as a person, is because, as you know, in the OVF, that's the same exact thing, except for we're helping with business instead of a physical being. And so that's really awesome to hear that's like comes to fruition for you. But let's talk a little bit. I don't know if you know this, but I actually lived outside of Louisville, Kentucky for almost a year. I was managing my uncle's restaurant there, a little town called Crestwood, which I'm probably know about.
Yep, I know where Crestwood is.
So I'm a little familiar with Kentucky. I love it there. It was beautiful. Unfortunately, at that point in my life, I was heavily hooked on drugs and needed to get my ass to rehab. So that's why I left. But anyway, so baseball doesn't work out for you. You join the Marine Corps, you get out, and life is hard. You're struggling to find that brotherhood again. And so can't find it. You decide to create it. Let's talk about your first business, your first brand. Where did that come from, and what was the vision behind it? Why did you build it?
So I'm big into personal development. I read a lot. When I'm driving in my car, most of the time, it drives my wife crazy when we go on fucking road trips, and she's like, "Can we not listen to this?" No, I need to listen to it. Yeah. So, I'm constantly listening to personal development crap while I'm reading and stuff like that. And one day it just hit me like, why can't I do this? How come I can't have that voice? I mean, I could, listen to Tony Robbins one day, and he's like sitting there preaching, transformation and this and that. And I'm like, I can do that. And so what happened with me, I wanted to take my story of where me and my wife were not in a very good place. It was brink of divorce, like in a bad spot. And it was because it took me looking into the mirror and taking full responsibility for that shit and turning my life around, that led us to being, more connected and more deeper in love than we were when we first met. We've been together, 2014, so 17 years now. We've been married 17 years as of October last year. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but it took me, losing when I got out of the Marine Corps, I kind of lost my mission, lost my way, and because I didn't really have a fight, I didn't have a mission to hold on to, and I let myself go. So it took me looking in my own eyes and saying, like, you're screwing up. And then, but knowing that inside that, just because I screwed up doesn't mean anything. Actually, it's empowering because it means that I have the power to correct it. When you take full responsibility and full accountability, yeah, it weighs a lot. It weighs on your shoulders a lot. But at the same time, it allows you to know that you hold the keys to release yourself from those chains.
Yeah, that's powerful. For everybody listening and watching, I don't know if you're listening on Anchor when I load this next week, or if you're here with us live, or how you're consuming this content. But what Tommy just shared was really powerful, and I want to touch on a couple of things. A little bit of my background, just in case you guys don't know it. I've been working in the personal growth and development live events realm now for 5 years, and I've helped thousands of people, much like Tommy. And what I want to point out about Tommy compared to most people out there is that almost every class we do, and we do almost one a month, you have that one person who stands up and it resonates with them. As Doc Dave is saying, you were called to it. It was a calling for you. We have people who stand up and they say, oh, I want to do what you do. This is such great work. I want the whole world to experience this. And they stand up and they proclaim it. But very rare is that the person who actually takes action and moves forward. And with you I have a mentor. I have somebody who's been doing it for 20 years, who helped me and sculpted me and is turning me into a great facilitator. You were just like, no, I can do this. And you went and did it, right? That is amazing. Most people, the buck stops way before the action. And you were like, no, I can do this. And you went for it, man. And that's just a testament to who you are as a man. And the whole, guys, success leaves clues, right? Tommy isn't successful because he woke up one day and the world just gifted it to him. There's a huge clue in what he just shared with us. He saw something, he was called to do it. And regardless of experience, knowledge, know-how, mentorship, all these things we use as excuses to stop us, he said, nope, I'm going for it, and was successful with it.
I want to share with you something real quick on that line right there that you wrote. It made me grab a Post-it that I keep on my desk that one of the coaches that I have now had said, and I wrote it down. It resonated with me. It was really important. I don't know if you can read that. It says, imperfect action wins the day.
Yes. So
you don't need to be perfect to start, but you need to start to be perfect. You don't need to be great. You don't need to be perfect ever, but you don't need to be. You don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. You can't. There's no greatness without action. I believe fully in starting before you're ready. It's you can sit and plan all fucking day and have all these whiteboards, which I do. Got whiteboards full of ideas and things to do, but unless you take action on those ideas, it means squat.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So you built the brand. When we first started talking, the whole world was shut down. COVID's happening. Everyone's businesses are basically gone almost overnight, trying to figure out how do we do these in-person or even, one-on-one type of coaching things when the world won't allow us to be in the same room together. And so when we first talked, you were like, I got this brand. It's done a lot of really good, really great stuff, but it has to evolve with the times. You didn't know where you want to go. So you went with fitness. Yep. But you still have that, brotherhood, that mindset training behind it all, that personal growth and development intertwined into it, which I think is beautiful. But what made you choose fitness for your personal development? What made you choose those two to intertwine?
Well, first of all, going back a little bit, Modern Kings, when I had that going, if I knew then what I know now, I would have kept going with it because during COVID, men needed help more than ever. And if I would have known all the stimulus money was coming to the families and to people that needed it, and they were going to be spending money because they spent money like fucking crazy, during COVID. People did. They just spent money like crazy. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting all this. So that's when I kind of freaked out for a little bit. And I decided to me being the entrepreneur guy, right? I've been in fitness for a while. I was a personal trainer. I actually used fitness as a part of my programming with Modern Kings. So my first thought was, okay, all the gyms are shut down. What can I do to fix that? All right, I need to build a gym for me to work out anyway, because I'm just got to work out. That's who I am. I built my gym. I'm like, okay, I can train people out of my house. I can train people out of my gym. I don't need the gyms to be open. That don't fucking matter. I can train people out of my gym. That's what I did. So I started training people out of my gym. It got successful. It got, I hardly ever advertised. Most of it was through word of mouth. Most of it was through people just found me, right? Got to where I was just super busy. Like I was working, 50, 60, 70 hours a week in the gym. And you have a glass ceiling when you're training in person. So there's, and that goes with any business too. Like if you're doing things in person, there's only so many hours, especially a service-based business. There's only so many hours that you got available. So it's either find a location, build something bigger and hire staff and do all this, or transition to online. My first initial thoughts with online were, I need to know that I can get the same or better results for my clients working online than I can in person. So I did a lot of research, talked to a lot of people. The people that I hired to help me grow it or start it, really, because they've been in the trenches of the fitness business. They opened my eyes to see, like, because I have more time to give my online clients than I do my in-person clients. Because when I'm doing in person, it's you got to meet for an hour and that's it. Because I got to go on to my next client and my next client and my next client. I don't have time to talk to you on the phone. I don't have time to meet in a Zoom call or do mindset training that much. It's only what we can do while you're working out. So while you're working out, we can do some mindset stuff. But once you're out the door, I don't really have time to. Now with online, I can intertwine all that. And, we can, speaking of, like you mentioned, all the people that I've helped, join the military, join police force, join the firefighter, which I've got 100% success rate with. But the most important aspect of that isn't just getting them physically ready to make it into the service. It's to prepare them to go to fucking war once they're in there. It's prepare them to do their job and to create an impact once they're in the service too. So they got to, that's where the mindset training comes in, right? We have to be mentally prepared to go to war. Now that's something that I go to war with myself every day. And that's what I teach my fitness clients. Like, it's not just working out. You're going to war. Like I go to war with myself to face the demons that I have in my head. That's one of the places I get to face them right and look them in the face. Say, you ain't gonna beat me today. That's where I get that out in the gym. There's other places you can get that out, but that's my church, right? I say that all the time. I'm going to my church. But yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think there's a lot of people, on the call right now, especially because I can see the names, and people who would watch this replay who would agree that that's a great release of energy is working out. Whether it's even just going for a walk or, actually lifting weights or punching a bag, whatever it might be, it's a great release of energy. It helps you also focus, right?
Absolutely.
It clears your mind. I think that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the recent success. So you just mentioned that you did what I consider to be the key to true, long-lasting, and quick success, which is reaching out to those in the trenches who are willing to show you the way, right? Mentorship.
Yep, 100%.
And you also mentioned something that is absolutely key is scalability, right? Your old model of in-person 1 hour, let's meet, and then you're out the door is finite. It's based on hours in the day, how many people you can fit in, your lunch breaks, things like that, where the new model, which I want you to break down for us, you don't have to give us all the details, but I'd love to hear some pieces of it. It's much more scalable, right? It's much more, you can service way more people, give them a much better result, and it's actually much less time consuming for you. So talk to us a little bit about how much more scalable this different model is? Because obviously $12,000 in 2 months, we want to touch on that too. But like, what was the main difference that you saw, and how quickly did you see it when it came to switching to a more scalable digital model?
Well, just like you said, I mean, it gives me, I don't have to, it's less time consuming for me, right? But that's not the most important factor. The most important factor is that I can give each individual person more attention. I can, 15-minute phone call here, 20-minute phone call there is a whole lot easier to fit in when you're not back to back to back with in-person clients. Because if I'm in my in-person, if I'm doing in-person, which I still do a few, I've got rid of most of them, but I still got a few in-person. But when I'm back to back with in-person, I can't take 15 minutes and take your call so that we can talk about what you're going through right now in your mind. Like I got a text from one of my clients earlier yesterday that she's just feeling less confident and not as confident as she usually does. So we sent a couple messages back and forth, ended up jumping on a call. Boom, she's good. I couldn't do that if I was all in person. There's just no way. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is this model allows me to, once I grow beyond my means to where I'm able to do everything, I can bring on coaches. Like in the old model, they would have if I brought on any other trainers, they have to come to my garage and train out of my garage to, get the client in here. And it's just, then you're interfering with my time. So there's not really, because the gym, I mean, it's a garage gym. It's not built to house, 4 or 5 clients at a time. So yeah, it gives me the ability to bring on more coaches, bring on sales staff and stuff like that that can free up my time to create content and do stuff that's going to move the needle forward in the business.
Yeah, no, I love that. What do you think was the number one benefit from finding someone in the trenches and learning from them getting started?
Everything, man. I had no idea where to start when it comes to starting an online fitness business. I didn't want to be like everybody else. A lot of people, there's a lot of online coaches out there. Some of them doing like group Zoom calls, and I'm not down with that. Doing other just different things. I wanted someone that allowed me. I wanted to find a way that allowed me to be me and do what I do, right? So, and the group of people that I found that do this is Global CEO. They're fucking awesome. If for fitness professionals, they help me see that I don't have to have a persona online. A lot of people, especially in the fitness business, they have this certain persona that they are on social media. It's not really them, right? They're not themselves. So like, I want it to be clear from the very beginning, from Jump Street, that this is me. That's why, one of the posts back when I first launched said like, I'm a bourbon drinking, gun toting, red blooded fucking American. And if you don't like it, you can exit stage left. I mean, that's just who the fuck I am. That's what I do. I talk about guns. I talk about God. I talk about my family. I talk about my business. I talk about fitness. If that bothers you, if that offends you, see ya. I mean, I am who I am. I want to attract the clients that believe the type in the stuff that I believe in. I don't necessarily, I mean, I don't care about your political beliefs and all that. I can work with you if we disagree on politics. I don't give a shit about that. What it comes down to for me is morals and ethics. Like if we have the same moral compass, I welcome you as a client if you're interested in working together. If not, I'll find that out and I'll fire you.
I love that. One of the things that a mentor, and I'm sure I've heard it before too, so I don't think it was his original saying, but when you're working with a team or you're hiring for a company, you hire for culture, you train for skill, right?
Yep.
So you hire for who they are as a person, because you can train them to do anything else, right? But it's you can't make them someone they're not, right? So I think that's really powerful. So $12,000 in 2 months. Give us the 3 keys to how you did that. Just broad. How did you get it done?
Grind, baby, grind. All right. So I officially launched in December. I wasn't planning on making any sales in December. I made 1 sale. but brought in 2,500 in December. It wasn't a big deal. Because fitness, in the fitness space, December is typically your lowest month. We had some people in the group that I'm with that they killed it in December, but they've been doing it for months. It was my first month, so I really just wanted to get my name out there and get people noticing me. And so come January, that's when I hit 12K in January. So it came down to creating content that people actually look at and read and want to know more, and creating real conversations, real connections, genuine connections with people, and actually giving a shit about what they say and not just being robotic and reaching out to, what I did was like, I took stuff to groups, right? I would go to like the Jocko Willing group, because I'm big into Jocko. I love Jocko, love David Goggins group. Go in there and I make some posts that let people know who I am, right? And then when people comment, they like it, we create conversations, we start talking back and forth, bring someone in my sphere of influence. And then, we keep talking and whatever. Eventually we get on a phone call, see if we're a good fit, little quick call. Then we move on to the real call, the sales call, to see if it go deep and to see why they're interested in doing something. And, from there, I actually had it's like 95% close rate in January. So I was killing it.
That's awesome. And so for everybody listening, there's two main things I want to point out that maybe you not being in the business space, the marketing space, you might not have grasped from what Tommy was just sharing. The two, like, grinding is absolutely, getting the work done when the work needs to be done, 100%. That is a key to success. There is no skimping out on that part. But two of the things that he had mentioned was, and he did it in two parts, so you might have missed it, is the polarizing character that he is, right? Authentically sharing himself. What he's doing is he's aligning his tribe, which is creating conversations on a much deeper level, because now they're connecting with Tommy on more than just fitness. They're connecting with him on the fact that they love bourbon, they love guns, they're red-blooded American too, right? And so just like in the chat right now, there's a great example of it. It's like, what else is there to talk about? You have everything covered, right? So just Sam alone in the chat is already identifying with the polarizing character that Tommy is authentically. And so many people online are scared to be that polarizing character. Tommy did it, and within a few months, his tribe came to him, and with having a high-ticket coaching offer, he made himself, well over $10,000 a month now in just 2 months, right? So that's one thing I wanted to share with you guys. The other thing is that he's creating connections, right? One of the things that we teach really heavily inside of OVF is that people are not just a number, they're not just a dollar, right? They have souls and lives and businesses and dreams and aspirations and pains, just like everyone else. And so what we do, what we teach, what everybody should be doing, in my personal opinion, is not when someone reaches out to you and says, hey, this is my problem, can you help me? You shouldn't be like, yeah, here's how much it is, which 99% of people out there do. It should be, oh, how long has that been going on? What's happening? You should be asking questions. You should care. And that's the things that Tommy just said authentically, that he said so naturally because they're who he is, that you guys might have skipped over. And so I wanted to bring some light to that, because you don't hit the numbers and the growth that Tommy's doing right now because you posted a couple of things online and they were, got attention, right? That's not how that's part of the equation. But there's other things that he's doing that were just so subtle that I wanted to bring attention to, because they really are huge factors inside of growing a business on the internet and connecting with people when all you have is a screen and a keyboard, and you don't have that face-to-face interaction. So one last thing I do want to ask you, because it popped in my head as you were talking about being out there and creating these connections and having these multiple different spots before you get on a call. Are you running any kind of Facebook ads, or are you using any kind of sales funnels?
Not one, not yet. I'm about to, but I've not had to run a single fucking ad yet. This is all through organic. Yep. It's all been, just like we talked about, creating conversations, being genuinely caring about what the other person you're talking to.
Yeah.
Whether, I mean, I understand it's hard to create that connection a lot of times when you can't be face to face and you can't, but you can do it. It can be done. It's not just a pitch fest. You don't just jump on Messenger and say, "Hey, here's my business. Anybody that needs fucking help?" No, it doesn't work like that. No,
Yeah.
everybody's going to delete. I mean, everybody's probably listening to this has been pitched on Facebook about hundreds of times just on the first message. I mean, date me first before you try to fuck me,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's just about
but they're
being genuine.
taught, too.
Oh yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I've had mentors, like I've had MLMs that I was a part of back in the day that's exactly what they teach every single person coming in. Just cold message everybody. It's like, man, you wonder why people just give up so quickly. It's like, that's
Right.
a lot of rejection, and that's a lot of fishing in an angry bucket of people who are never going to buy anyway, right? So
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other part of that too. How are you going to know if you can actually help them without getting to know them?
Yeah,
Like they may not even need you. They may be out of you, or they may need more than what you can offer. And so just instead of throwing a fucking price out there, and the way my programming works, it's not a cookie cutter shit. Like my flagship program is 16 weeks, right? To work with me. But sometimes I offer 9 months, sometimes I offer a year. It just depends on that person. If somebody needs to lose 150 pounds, 16 weeks ain't gonna do nothing for them. It'll get them started, but I want to see them through to the end. I want to see them reach their goals. So if I was talking to somebody that needs to lose 150 pounds, I would be looking to have a 12-month program instead of a 16-week program. Does that make sense?
absolutely.
So it needs to be something that fits that person. It's not just a cookie cutter. And it's same with my training. It's not cookie cutter. It's all customized, all individual. It's up to who you are, what your goals are, what your body's like right now, where your mind is right now. All that. I mean, sometimes some people need to be pushed. Some people you need to pull back a little bit. One of my favorite things to do is like break you. I want to break you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I want to fucking break you, because once I break you, and you're gonna actually gain a lot of confidence, because you're going to get to that point to where you want to fucking quit. All you want to do is quit, and then when you don't quit and you push through it, God, miracles happen, man.
Yeah,
it releases. It shows you in your mind that anything's possible.
So powerful, man. And anybody who served in the military with the break you down, build you up mentality that we used to go through, I'm not really sure that's exactly what's going on these days, but
Yeah,
that's
a topic for another show.
Yeah, us old schoolers, we had a little bit of a different experience, and so I love that, brother. So 30 minutes flies by. I'm definitely gonna have to have you on again, share some more. But if anybody's looking for coaching from you, if anybody's looking to follow you on social media, just to get more of some bourbon and firearms in their life, how do they reach out to you? How do they stay in touch with you?
You can find me on Facebook. Let me find I think it's Thomas Brooks 013 or something like that. But
I'll make it easy for everybody. I'll put all his handles for social media down in the description as well. That way you guys can easily find it and click on it. And hopefully the next time we have you out, brother, you'll have sales funnels and ads up, and maybe OVF will even build them for you, because that's what we do. So just want to say thank you so much for having you out. Like, it's been a great to just chat with you. It's been a minute since we actually had a real conversation. We've both been so busy. So it's really just great to chat with you. Great to share, your story, your success with everybody. And congratulations, brother. It's been awesome watching you grow. Been awesome watching you stay consistent. And you've deserved everything and so much more, everything that's coming down the pipeline for you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And thank you so much for everything you're doing out there for men and empowering them, and women. I know you also have women in your program. So Thank you, brother.
Badass women. I only take on the baddest of the bad women when it comes to but man, it was a pleasure and honor, dude. We need to catch up more often, and for sure, let me know when you want me on. I'll be here.
Awesome, brother. And so everybody else, thank you so much for being here tonight. If you're watching this on replay, definitely make sure you're commenting, putting hashtag replay. Definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. And as always, if you want to grab a copy of this video sponsor, the DD214 Secrets book, it'll be down in the description. You can hit that button and download completely free, 100% no strings attached ebook that you can download, digest, and dive into. So With that being said, guys, that is a wrap for episode 10. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you guys same time next week. Peace.